Hello and welcome to the Landis Look, where we take an inside look in the world of real estate. I'm Justin and Cathryn's here with me today. Hey, Cathryn.
Hey, Justin.
Cathryn is an awesome real estate agent on our team, and she just bought a personal residence. And so we thought it'd be fun to take a look today at what do real estate agents think about when they buy their own houses. Ever wonder if your real estate agent is giving you the same advice they would give themselves? Well, we're about to find out what advice Cathryn gave herself. So, Cathryn, first of all, tell us a little bit about what you bought, and then we'll get into why you did it and how that process went. But what did you just buy?
So I just bought a small condo in Ponce Highlands, which is a neighborhood that I like. Great walkable location. Basically, it's one of these buildings that I've actually driven by for years, and I always thought it was cute. So that always helped.
Definitely.
But it's a cute little condo, historic charm. I'm excited about it.
Nice. So Cathryn just bought a cute historic condo in Ponce Highlands. How did you decide now was the time to buy a house? Because I know a lot of people, they think that themselves, is now the time to buy? How did you decide that?
So it was a combination of a couple things. I had been sort of thinking for a while that I was ready to buy another property, but just started keeping my eye on what was out there. But ultimately, it just culminated in like personal changes happening that meant, now makes sense for me to buy a place rather than continue to rent, which was what I was doing at the time. And then it also coincided with really good interest rates. So it was just sort of a situation of I was ready to buy financially within the budget that I set for myself. And just sort of had that extra push to be like, your living situation, like lease was running up and thought I was going to renew, but no longer going to renew. And then timed it with historic low interest rates. So I feel good about it.
I like it. Cathryn, you gave yourself the same advice that Gary Keller gives when people ask him if they should buy a house now. And it's, do I have a reason to buy this? And you're like, hey, yeah, this is perfect timing in my life. Can I afford it? You just said you saved up, you had the budget you wanted, and the interest rates help that as well. So you decided you're going to do it. Tell us about the searching process or the selection process that you went through and how you figured out that historic condo was right for you.
So my dog's running. I just started looking at, this was my budget. Let's see what's out there right now. I now have this new incentive to try to buy rather than to rent.
Yep.
And just sort of like hit the ground running there. Went to look at things. I have never taken very long to pick things when I've bought property. Basically, I get excited about it and I see something that seems to fit my location, fit my budget. I like the looks of it. I'm sold.
Yep. So your last house was a single family house. This is a condo. How did you decide this time that a condo was right for you?
So it really came down to location. I wanted to be in certain areas, and I also didn't necessarily want to spend the money on a single family house that I would have to, like the amount I would have to spend to be in those areas. And I also wanted to look at this next purchase as being more of like an investment potentially. So
tell us about that. What do you mean by, a house is always an investment because it's a big financial transaction, but what do you mean you looked at this as an investment?
Yeah, so something that I could hold on to and has a rental property down the line. So basically I wanted to keep my budget such that it fit with what I wanted to spend right now, but that it wouldn't be such a big burden down the line that conceivably I could hold on to it or whenever I want to move on to my next property and just rent it out.
Mm-hmm. So you weren't seeing this as, hey, I'm going to live in this condo forever. This is good for me now. It gets me the location that I want. And then it's a potential investment in the future.
Yes, exactly.
Love that. And you mentioned interest rates earlier, but if any of y'all like a spreadsheet like I do and you model out over time, the potential rental income and the rental numbers, having that low interest rate that is owner occupied up front, that you then turn into a rental, man, those numbers look good over the long haul.
Yes, and that's been a goal of mine. I've always wanted to be able to have a rental property. So I was looking to ideally make that something that I could do with my next purchase.
But you did have to, because it's a condo, there was a little bit of research that went into making sure that was likely a possibility, right?
Yes, for sure. The vast majority of condos in Atlanta have rental restrictions.
Yeah.
And so that means normally it's a cap that no more than like 25% is a common number of the condos within that community can be rented out at once. So that might mean you're looking at a rental waiting list,
Yeah.
or like it's just the numbers are such that you're never really going to have that as a viable opportunity. So it's definitely something to research.
Awesome. So what other advice, I'm curious, did you give yourself here that it was like, hey, Cathryn the realtor and Cathryn the client? Did Cathryn the realtor and client have any sort of conflict or challenge with the advice that was given in one direction or the other?
I would have to say I honestly wished I had someone that I could ask these questions to other than myself. Yeah, I was like, now I'm thinking back to like all of my clients just being able to text me questions. I'm like, I know these answers, but I just want someone else to tell me them too.
Yep.
But yeah, it was just sort of going both sides. Like, I love this, but then having to pause and think about everything I know as an agent, and to step away from just like the excited buyer shoes into like, let's really analyze this situation too.
Yeah. Were there any challenges around COVID, or any challenges around just what, that to buy this? Anything that would be interesting for people to learn?
I mean, they didn't. I'm just used to it now because this is the life we
Yeah.
live, and this is how I've been operating with my job. But not really. You just sort of take precautions, wear a mask. Probably easier to negotiate extra cleanings as part of the contract.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
other than just taking the precautions that we have to take in our daily lives now, it's basically the same.
Yeah. Awesome. I really appreciate your time today, Cathryn. It's interesting seeing the real estate agent's perspective on buying your own personal property. And so thanks for sharing that with everybody. And for any of y'all out there, if you're thinking, hey, is the time right for me? Do I want to capitalize on these interest rates? Would I want to have a long-term investment? Send us a message. We'll connect you with Cathryn. She can answer your own personal questions for you. And we would love to help you think through it and see if now's the right time for you. So Cathryn, thanks again. And everybody, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.